The Sci-Horror Film Podcast.
Hey.
And my eyes are really shiny. What's going on?
Hello and welcome to the Sci-Horror Film Podcast. I am Andy Walker and I'm here with my son Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah. I'm okay, actually. I'm looking forward to things I have planned.
Fair enough.
Well, not things I have planned, things that I'm participating in.
Ooh.
Participating?
It's very,
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for? That's very, I don't know, something.
It's very something.
Can you say anything about these things? Or?
Yes. Well, as far as I know, I can. No one's told me I can't.
Okay.
Hope I don't get in trouble for saying it. But there's a community project sort of a stage performance thing going on in Romford and the surrounding areas for Havering, and I am participating in it. I am one of the actors.
Ooh, very flaky.
And it's very weird for me because it's one of the first things I've acted in stage wise since I was at school. Being involved in and everything like that, and it's just I don't know why if it's just me or what, or if it's just the way it's worded. But I seem to have a lot more to say than everyone else in the script, and it's slightly daunting.
Maybe it's
but
just you've got a lot to say for yourself with the.
Yeah, it's just slightly daunting sort of thing, and there's a few different performances within the performance that's got to be done, and it's that I know my memory's not the best in the world, so I'm slightly nervous that I'm going to get halfway through. Do the rehearsal fine and get to performance and go, nah, mine's gone.
Wing it, mate, wing it.
Start randomly slipping in random words that I've remembered that popped into my head or something.
Just don't do the who fired that cannon joke.
Oh dear. No, it's just I'm looking forward to it. I'm saying it's just a bit nerve-wracking because it's the first stage thing I've done.
Yeah.
It's actually thinking about it, it's the first stage thing I've done since I was actually at secondary school for like my first few years, because the rest of it I did a lot of backstage work and the sort of the technical side of it. So this is going to be my first acting thing on stage that I've done since probably my second year at secondary school.
Oh, cool.
So
let's find out if they're going to film it. If they are, we see if we can get it on the.
Yeah, as far I don't know whether or not there's going to be tickets available for anyone in the area or what. So as soon as I know what's going on, I can let people know, or
So if
I can ask them to.
If they film it,
we can put a link to it or something. Yeah,
let's film it. See if we can get a copy and see if we can put it up on the channel.
It's being publicised by our good friends at a tattoo studio that we know in Romford.
Oh, okay.
They're doing press conferences for it and doing press releases and all that for it. So it's all being endorsed and everything by them. So it's I'm looking forward to it. It's just a bit nerve-wracking, and as of recording this, it's going to be my first rehearsal tomorrow. So obviously I can't remember when this is going to be going out, but obviously my first rehearsal's tomorrow, and I'm a bit about it.
Yeah. Well, good luck with it all. Break a leg, as they say.
I'm hoping I don't, because then I can't get there. But I know, mate. It's just awkward to get to. It's the bit that's doing me, but it's going to be fun, and that's what everyone keeps telling me. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's
fun for you. You haven't got to be in it, but yeah, no,
You'll have
It's
a
gonna
laugh.
be it's
Sure
gonna
you
be
will.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be forgiving.
Yeah, whether or not anyone else. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So how are
Right.
you then, Father?
Me,
What's going on in the world of you?
I'm old and grumbly and curmudgeonly and aching and stuff. My legs are falling off,
I
and
did say what was new, but okay.
yeah. Other than that, everything's pretty much as usual.
Fair enough.
Mm.
Do you know what? I've had someone point this out to me before, and I haven't noticed until now because they pointed it out to me. I
What?
have a dip in my beard.
A
It
dip?
goes in and then puffs out, and
Yeah.
it's only just it's really annoying, you know.
Do you put something round it every now and again? Tie it round something?
No,
Oh, mhm.
I think it's just
It's the shape of your chin.
yeah, it's I don't know.
Anyway, shall we get on with things?
Yes, sorry, yes, sorry to distract everyone.
That's all right. Right. So yes, this week we are going to do 2 short films and a long film again, and stuff. And yes, the first of the 2 short films is from 2023. We think it's on dust, so we don't, we'll take that with a pinch of salt. And it's called The Cage. Director and writer is Hengrul Zhang. It's a great name. The cast is Jeff McDonald, Cynthia Allen, and Bridget Rank. I think it's
Why
pronounced.
is it you have so much? You can pronounce some names and then have so much trouble with others.
I don't know. It's the way my mother put my teeth in. Anyway, the synopsis for this film says an obedient artificial intelligence assistant is trying to complete a painting so that she can help her master. But this painting annoys her arrogant master, which causes a spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've got to say, it's really weird because there's a lot of talk at the moment in social media and lots of places about artificial intelligence and art.
Yes.
I personally have become a little bit obsessed with artificial intelligent image generators. They fascinate me. Some of the weird stuff you can make them do. No, I'm just talking. I'm talking non-pornographic here.
Yes. And no, I sort of gathered that, but yeah, it's nice to clarify.
But this is the second film I've seen recently about this, which is quite weird. It's quite interesting. It's come into the short film thing so quickly. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of thing about the effect that it has on artists and on the world of art in general and that sort of thing, which I think what this is about really. It's well made and it deals with the issue really well, and I kind of like it, but I don't know. There's something about it that just kind of like I thought, yeah.
I think about this is the fact that it touches on a few subjects. The whole AI like sort of picture sort of thing and the art thing, but also the fact that there was a whole discussion. Well, it wasn't massive, but like it was big enough for it to be sort of publicised a bit. But the fact that there was whole, could you tell the difference between the artist, the artist's paintwork, and an AI like a robot doing the same thing?
Yeah.
And obviously, it all comes down to sort of brushstrokes and all. But they touch on this about the fact that if it's taught and learned from the artist itself, it could create it. It could create. And I think the fact, obviously, there's a little bit of the hidden thing in the background about the fact that like there's certain AIs that are taking over and going a bit wild and crazy and all that. But I think it's good for that. It is a bit confusing and a little bit sort of, I think, a bit sort of weird one. I think this could also almost be good as a sci-fi horror sort of mix. The sort of the dark, the sort of twist to it. But I do get the whole sci-fi bit to it. It is very good, sort of cinematographically, the cinematography.
Yeah.
Got like that. The angle work and the fact that the slight little um the shots they were doing of her when she's touching the brushes and everything, I thought was very well. I had a lot of sort of feeling behind them, and I think there's certain little bits it just niggled at me. I think other than that, it is a good film.
It's a good film. I don't know what it was. It was just at the end when he got to the end of it, I was like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very interested in the thing about sort of AI and artists, because one of the things I see is that you get a lot of artists that use assistants
Yeah.
to do the work for them.
Mm.
And they come up with the master plan, if you like. They come up with the design and the actual artistic thingy and all that kind of thing. But they use physical people, other people, to actually make the art.
Yeah.
You know? So is there really a difference between somebody doing that and somebody using a computer or a robot to make the art, if they come up with the initial idea and the actual creativity behind it?
I also think they touch on it, don't they? They say about the fact that it's not the art or as long as the painting's done, that's all that matters. And he actually says it's not the painting, it's my name
Yeah.
that makes it valuable. It's not
Yeah.
the painting or the artwork, it's my name. And that's the same thing. It's, like you said, it's the fact that if it's got someone's name on it, but they've only done say 10% of the work, it's still being classed as their painting.
Yeah, well, they would have come up with a creative idea, and they would have come up, and it's been done for hundreds of years. I mean, you know, it's like going back to people like Michelangelo and Leonardo and people like that. You know, it's
What do
not.
Ninja Turtles got to do with it?
No, I mean DiCaprio. No, no, it's not a new thing for an artist to use assistants to do some of the work for them, but they come up with the original creative idea. They come up with the meaning behind it and what it actually is supposed to be. But I don't see that there's necessarily any difference between using physical workmen or assistants to do that work than to use a robot or a computer AI to generate the artwork if you still come up with the original creative idea.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that's one of the things that it's sort of, I don't know, it's a hard way to deal with because of the fact that obviously a lot of people, there's this whole argument about the fact that people on one side is, oh, but it's not the same, it's not the same passion in it, it's not the same, but
it does mean that
it's
people who have creative ideas but aren't necessarily technically
yeah
capable of putting oil on canvas can then make art.
Yeah, because you can have creative ideas, but it doesn't mean you've got skill to be able to influence that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things. It's the fact that, like saying, saying the fact that it's the passion within the artwork. But the way that I feel, well, obviously, I know that everyone looks at art differently, be it paintings, be it music, be it comedy, everything form of art is all based on that person.
Yeah.
I still think that I've still seen pictures that I know have been generated by AI that have actually moved me more, and I've had more of a reaction to than I have done for paintings that I know have been painted by humans.
Yeah. It's difficult. It is a difficult thing, but I mean, you know, it's done in a quite a good, interesting way, and I expect we will see more of this sort of thing being reflected in films.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. Do you think it's the whole Android AI sort of artificial intelligence thing has been done so many times, and it's just now getting to the point where it's not so much actual science fiction; it's more science fact now.
Yeah.
The fact that we are getting to the point where we've got artificial intelligence, we've got the ability to make these things true. Where I think it's where people are now sort of getting to the point where it's, oh, this isn't just in the distant future. This is something that could happen in the next 10 years.
Yeah. True. Well, moving on to our second film, and it's there's kind of a connection in a way. This is again from 2023, and it's a film called Clementine. The director and editor of this is Zach Remelian. And the writer and executive producer is Neil Schneider. The cast is Jacqueline Dos Santos, Siobhan McDonald, and Arya Sharma. Now, the synopsis for this film says, a smart home is designed to protect humans from the outside world. But what happens when a young girl gets trapped inside with no other form of human life? What did you think?
Now, I want to go proper into depth about this, but obviously it's a new film, and I don't feel I feel confident doing it, but I don't want to because it might spoil it for people that haven't watched it. But the synopsis, and the way that the film runs go hand in hand until about the last 3 minutes of the film.
Yeah,
and I think that is a very, very good twist in it.
Yes.
Is it makes you think, or made me think anyway, that down the whole path of what was going on, and she was starting to go sort of bit mental health wise, which it still does, isn't it? But then the twist in it, which you sort of then go, oh, okay. And it, for me, proper made me. I was sitting there like I was not expecting that.
No.
And I was saying that the technology side of it, the even the whole, again, the emotion that was shown in it, I thought was very well done. Cinematography was amazing in it, and I genuinely really liked this film, especially with the twist at the end.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great film. I like this sort of film. It reminds me a bit. There was a kind of spate of films in the 60s and 70s about this kind of thing. They're about sort of computerized houses and homes that were done in order to protect people or to protect people, but then different things happen. But I like that. And then there was a lot of things about like the dangers of computers and how them being in charge of our daily lives wouldn't necessarily be the best thing and all this kind of stuff. And it kind of reminds me of those sort of things, but updated. But it also reminded me again of like the films we were watching a few weeks ago with the robots protecting the people that they're looking after. You know, the guys trapped on the space station and the guy in the ship where they were looking for a new Earth. It kind of reminds me again of that sort of stuff. You know, they're being protected by this
What I liked about it as well was the fact that it touches on the whole subject, which I've found in a few other films haven't sort of gone down that when they've done the whole AI thing and the whole you need to protect us, especially when you go, you need to look after this person until we come back.
Yeah.
And it's that whole thing that they say in this is, what if they don't?
Yeah, yeah.
What if they don't come back? What happens then? Are they going to be still looked after? Are they going to be locked there until they die? And it's just that whole thing is, yes, that is a very good idea. You put this AI, you've been able to program, you've been able to say, these are the parameters you need to stick by. And you protect them until we come back. But it's, what if you don't?
Yeah.
What then happens?
Yeah.
And I think I love this film because it does the whole, what happens if you're locked inside and are locked away and then have that freedom that you get. But it's then, I say, with the added twist to it as well, which I think was very amazingly done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's incredibly well made, well acted, and it's got some really good effects on it as well.
Yeah,
some of the effects are really well done. I think it's a really good film, and I think there's some really good films coming out lately, and I'm this year looks like there's some good stuff around. Okay, moving on to our.
Say, is that a slight dig at the next film?
No.
There's really good films coming out lately, and then we're going to go into a film from the 80s.
No, not at all. Right, so onto our feature film. Now, our feature film is this week is a 1985 film, which is kind of a bit sci-fi maybe, but definitely horror. and it's called Re-Animator, based on lots of things. Let's go for it. So the director was Stuart Gordon. He did some TV and short stuff in the 90s and the 2000s. He also directed From Beyond in 1986, Dolls in 1986, Robot Jocks in 1989, The Pit and the Pendulum 1991, Fortress 1992, Castle Freak 1995, Space Truckers 1996, Dagon in 2001. This is my favourite. Bunker of Blood, Chapter 5, Psycho Sideshow Demon Freaks in 2018. I
suppose they cover all bases, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know where they could have fitted the title up on the holding outside the cinema.
Probably shortened it down.
Yeah. So the writers, this is based on a story by H.P. Lovecraft. He wrote the original story. So there are other things that he was involved in the writing of, or his writing was involved in, were mainly to TV and shorts.
We got time for this.
Eh?
We got time for this.
Oh yeah.
To say about the stuff that H.P. Lovecraft inspired and
not inspired. I've just taken the direct writing.
I was to say
TV and shorts in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. We had The Haunted Palace in 1963, Die Monster Die 1965, The Shuttered Room 1967. That's a brilliant film. I love that film. The Crimson Cult 1968, The Dunwich Horror 1970, Island of the Fishmen in 1979, From Beyond 1986, The Curse 1987, The Testimony of Randolph Carter in 1987, The Unnameable in 1988, Pulse Pounders in 1988, Dark Heritage 1989, Bride of Re-Animator 1990, The Resurrected 1991, The Unnameable 2 in 1992, Necronomicon Book of the Dead 1993, Lurking Fear 1994, Bleeders 1997, Cthulhu 2000.
That's a great film.
Chilean Gothic in 2000, Dagon 2001, The Music of Erica Zan 2002, Beyond Re-Animator 2003, The Thing on the Doorstep 2005, The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath 2003, Strange Eons, The Thing on the Doorstep 2005, The Call of Cthulhu 2005, Beyond the Wall of Sleep 2006, The Horror of H.P. Lovecraft 2006, The Rats in the Walls 2006, Cthulhu 2007, H.P. Lovecraft's The Dunwich Horror 2007, The Whisperer in the Darkness 2007, Colour from the Dark 2008, Pickman's Muse 2010, The Colour Out of Space 2010, Three Shadows 2010, The Whisperer in the Darkness 2011, Banshee Chapter 2013, The Haunter of the Dark 2015, Dead Tongues 2016, Blasted Heath 2016, From Beyond 2016, The Haunter in the Dark 2 2017, Herbert West Re-Animator 2017, Pios 2017, Colour Out of Space 2019, Chaos from the Old World 2020, A Haunter in the Dark 3 2020, Markham 2020, Castle Freak 2020, The Deep Ones 2020, Tales from the Grave the Movie 2020, At the Mountain of Madness 2021, and When the Earth Gives Up the Dead in 2022. There you go. Couple. The other writers, the screenplay writers, you got Dennis Paoli, did some TV and short stuff in the 90s and 2000s. Also did From Beyond in 1986, Ghoulies 2 in 1986, Spellcaster 1988, Pulse Pounders 1988, The Pit and the Pendulum 1991, Body Snatchers 1993, Castle Freak 1995, The Dentist 1998, The Dentist 1996, The Dentist 2 1998, and Dagon in 2001. And then William Morris is the other screenplay writer, and he has written nothing.
To be honest, even if he had matching up with the others is probably not going to be any point.
Nothing would be interesting, anything. Anyway,
No.
so the cast. Interesting thing. Jeffrey Combs. He did some TV and shorts work in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. He was in Frightmare in 1983, The Man with Two Brains 1983, From Beyond 1986, Cyclone 1987, Cellar Dweller 1987, The Phantom Empire 1987, Dead Man Walking 1988, Pulse Pounders 1988, Robot Jocks 1989, Bride of Re-Animator 1990, Pit and the Pendulum 1991, The Guyver 1991, Trancers 2 1991, Dr. Mordred 1992, Fortress 1992, Necronomicon Book of the Dead 1993, Lurking Fear 1994, Cyber Stalker 1995, Castle Freak 1995, The Frighteners 1996, Time Tracers 1997, Spoiler 1998, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer 1998, The House on Haunted Hill 1990. I can't see what that says. 9, I think it was. Faust 2000, The Attic Expeditions 2001, Contagion 2002, Fear.com 2002, Beyond Re-Animator 2003, All Souls Day Dio de los Muertos 2005, Satanic 2005, Abominable 2005, The Wizard of Gore 2007.
It's like a really bad spin-off to The Wizard of Oz.
Paratomnia in 2018, or 2008, whatever that is. Dark House 2009, Night of the Living Dead 2012, Would You Rather 2012, The Penny Dreadful Picture Show 2013, Suburban Gothic 2014, Art School of Horrors 2015, Holiday Hell 2019, and Unbelievable with 5 exclamation marks 2020.
Not to be mistaken from Unbelievable and the ones before it with the other explanation marks.
Yeah. Unbelievable with 3 exclamation marks.
Yeah.
Seen that one, that's good. Right. We have Bruce Abbott, who did some TV and shorts in the 80s and 90s. He was in The Last Starfighter in 1984, but he was uncredited. Bad Dreams, 1988, Interzone, 1989, Bride of Re-Animator, 1990, The Demolitionist in 1995, Prophecy 2, 1998, and Trance, 2002. Then we got Barbara Crampton. She did some shorts in the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. She was in Chopping Mall in 1986, From Beyond 1986, Pulse Pounders 1988, Puppet Master 1988, Trancers 2 1991, Robot Wars 1993, Castle Freak 1995, Space Truckers 1996, Cold Harvest 1999, The Sisterhood 1994, You're Next 2011. No, try it again. The Sisterhood was 2004. I'm talking about You're Next 2011, The Lords of Salem 2012, The Evil Clergyman 2012, The Last Survivors 2014, We're Still Here 2015, Sunchoke 2015, Tales of Halloween 2015, Road Games 2015, Blood Brothers 2015. Did a lot of stuff in 2015.
Yeah.
Beyond the Gates 2016, Day of Reckoning 2016, Replaced 2017, Death House 2017, Dead Night 2017, sorry, Puppet Master The Littlest Reich 2018, Reborn 2018, Stay Out, Stay Alive 2019, Deathcember in 2019, Sacrifice in 2020, Jacob's Wife 2021, Superhost 2021, and Alone with You in 2021. And this is my favourite one, Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls in 2023.
Wow. Just thinking, I'm pretty sure Stay Out and Stay Alive is what your instructions to me when it used to go out.
Yeah.
It got me so this. I take it back, like a few episodes ago where I turned around and said that, like I say, it's probably last season actually, where I said that not many films nowadays have amazing titles. I take it back.
We
What I
got
should have said was not many A films have got amazing titles. B films have got amazing ones.
true. So we got David Gale, who did some TV and shorts in the 60s and 80s.
Yep.
He was in Savage Weekend in 1979, The Brain 1988, Pulse Founders 1988, Bride of Re-Animator 1990, The First Power 1990, Signor in 1990, The Guyver 1991, and The Evil Clergyman in 2012. And lastly, we have Robert Sampson, who did some TV and short stuff in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Yep.
He was in City of the Living Dead in 1980, Robot Jocks 1989, The Dark Side of the Moon in 1990, The Arrival in 1991, and Netherworld in 1992. So the synopsis for this film says, after an odd medical student arrives on campus, a dedicated local
and
try again. I'm going to start this bit again, right? Synopsis for this film says, after an odd medical student arrives on campus, a dedicated local and his girlfriend become involved in bizarre experiments centering around the reanimation of dead tissue. Thank you very much. There you go.
Yeah, unlike the live tissue, which is before you sneeze in it.
Well, what do you reckon?
No, I normally go first, and you go first.
Oh, okay then. Right. I think this is a good film with some great effects.
Yeah.
Yes, it's got a lot of the usual 1980s stereotypes and tropes, but they seem to kind of fit the film somehow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you this. I'll give you the somehow.
There are some mistakes in it. Like there's a bit where he puts a bone saw through someone's chest, but then when you see him, it's on the wrong side of his. You see him from the front.
Yeah.
He puts a bone saw through somebody's back, and it comes out of his chest. And when you see him from the front, it's on the wrong side of his chest from where he put it in at the back.
Yeah.
But there's some nice gore in this film. I like a bit of gore. Nice 1980s gore, so it's like blood spattering everywhere. So that was good fun. Yeah, I don't know. There was one of the effects things I really did like about it, and it was where there was a comedy aspect to it, was the fact that the reanimated head trying to get the body to move, and although how it was doing that I don't know, but the head was fantastic. Try and get the body to do what he wanted to when it couldn't see was fantastic. It was just brilliant.
I wouldn't say I was fine. I was okay watching this until they done the headless, the head just in a tray.
I don't know. I think it's brilliant. It was so good. It needed something at that moment to change the mood, and they introduced this bit of slapstick comedy almost into it.
There were little digs of it the whole way through, I think.
Oh yeah.
It started off with the cat, and it's like, don't expect it to do the dance. It's got a broken back. It's like, well, yeah, you just killed it. But this is there were bits the whole way through it. But
what I loved though was the body trying to break into the morgue with the display head thing on its shoulders to make it look like it still had a head, which has got half of its head missing, so you can see the inside of the brain. That was fantastic. I think the thing is, there's a lot of humour in the second half of this film.
Oh yeah,
and I think it works really well. It's really well done. And of course, none of what goes on in the film works scientifically. It's just
they talk a little bit about some of the sort of brain tissue and stuff like that, but yeah, none of it works. There's no way on earth any of it would work. And
I find this a really entertaining film to watch. It's just really fun.
What I love, and I love this about old films, is how easily and how quickly everyone gets lured round into doing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like it started off with obviously he was feeling a bit uneasy about the doctor and everything like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Yep, I'm involved now."
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I don't care. Even if someone paid me, I'd still be sitting there going, "Mate, you screwed up. You need to stop."
I mean,
But
you,
I
you would
just
think after he killed his cat, he would have. He killed his cat and frightened off his girlfriend. You would have thought that at that point he would have gone. Actually, maybe not.
and the fact that he sort of like now I don't know whether or not this is just because of like the time I grew up in or the sort of people I hung around with or whatever. If I saw something like that and it made me an accessory, I wouldn't then go to the authorities and go, "He's done this," you know. I
Yeah.
was there, I saw it all. It'd be like I'd be like, "Look, I'm gonna get as far away from him as possible and cut all ties."
Oh
And
no. It's just I love. See, I love this. This has got all of the cheesy elements from a typical 1980s film, but it's done with such humour and such. I don't know. It just done in the right way, so that it doesn't come across as being cheesy and awful. It comes across as being good fun to watch.
yeah, there was a little bit that made me cringe, obviously, when and I never thought in all my years of watching films and trying to explain them to people that I would ever say this sentence. But watching the severed head getting quite intimate with the woman. Now I've watched Idle Hands. I've watched a lot of horror films where there are a lot of crazy stuff going on, but I never thought I would ever see a film where a headless body is trying to position its head into places while it's talking to try and perform sexual acts on a woman.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not the usual thing you come across in a horror film.
It's not something that I like. I'm saying I've watched some weird stuff, and it's not something that's ever crossed my mind. I've gone, I'm gonna have to say that sentence at some point. I've said some weird stuff, especially when I've had a few drinks, and
But it,
I've said some weird stuff in my life, but never anywhere near close to that.
but even that bit it was just so funny. It was like, oh my god, no. It's
No, the
awful.
bit that made me laugh was the doc seeing the body all in scrubs and him holding the head, which was blatantly obvious the fact there were two people.
Oh yeah. It was. I mean, you know.
It was the security guard that stopped it for me. Right at the end, where
Yeah.
he sees the body come flying out and just stands there, and then carries on looking and watching what's going on, and then decides to run when he sees the head being thrown out against the wall.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's it. I'm gone. I'll be like, I would have gone straight away.
It
It's just oh wow.
it was.
I want to know what the close-up shot was about the ear as well. You said about the guy walked over and he had the fake head on. I get the fact that obviously they were trying to prove the fact that it wasn't his head, like you needed proof. Um, but it was the close-up shot of the ear falling on the floor.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was about, really, but it.
I did feel sorry for him, like for the the sort of hero of the story, I suppose, because of the fact that if he runs off. Which again, I would be pissed if I was with someone and they go, "Hang on a minute, I'm going to help you, but I'm going to run other end down the corridor."
Yeah.
Instead of trying to pull the person off them out of the door, run off all the way down the corridor, run all the way back with an axe, and still manage to not save her.
Yeah. I
I'd be
suppose.
well annoyed if I was like, if that I was, so I'm sitting again choked out, and someone went, "I'll be back in 5 minutes." So like, what? No, it's just,
You
and the
can't.
fact that no one really questions why, like she was, especially the nurse that helps them at the end,
Yeah.
who see her fully clothed
Yeah.
and run downstairs, why she then came back up with just a shirt on and bruising around her neck. Never once turned around and went, "What's gone on?"
Yeah, no, I agree. It's as I say, there's a few bits like that. There's another bit. It's like sort of they break into the doctor's office, right?
Yeah.
By breaking the window in the door and then letting themselves in, and then when the doctor goes back to his office, the window's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But no, I just think it's just such a really good, fun film. You start off. I must admit, I started off watching it, and I'd seen this film before. But I started watching it, and I kind of thought, oh, I don't remember it being this dull. It was a bit dull at the beginning, and then I mean, okay, I say dull. I mean, I will say that, like, one of the first scenes in it is this guy's head exploding through his eyes,
Yeah.
but by dull, I mean after that, it just kind of gets a bit.
Yeah. It does
bit,
sort of start. It starts off really really dramatically, fizzles out until about halfway through, and then suddenly picks up again.
yeah,
It's very bizarre. I'll go admit that it's weird for an 80s film as well. There's a lot of nudity in this, but that's not the weird bit for an 80s film, by the way.
no.
Sorry, there's a lot of nudity in this, but it's weird for an 80s film not for it to be used over the top.
No, well, this is the thing I was
It's
going to
obviously
say.
it's very well done. Obviously, the only people that again, this is another sentence I never thought I'd say. The only nudity you see is the reanimated bodies that have that the other patients.
But the thing is, as well, is that the nudity in it fits in with the story. Even when you
Yeah.
see her stripped off by the
Well,
reanimated headless body,
yeah,
it fits in with the story. It's not
yeah,
just gratuitous there just for the sake of it being there.
yeah. It's not just there for the sake of it. It's tastefully done.
Yeah,
It's still like a lot of it,
not
but
sure about that, but
yeah, yeah. It's still a lot of it, but it's done
it's
right.
it's tastefully done for something that's in bad taste.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I've got to admit that it's weird as well because it's one of the things that one of the first films that I've ever watched where I've been torn about the makeup. Because there
Right.
are some very, very, very good bits with makeup artwork and the blood and gore and the makeup effects and all that. And then you see the guy who had his face shot, who shot himself in the face.
Yeah.
Which, sorry, I'm not an expert on this, but when you hold a shotgun to your face, it
Yeah.
goes inwards.
Yeah.
So why was his makeup pointing out?
I don't know.
Now, the burn victim looked amazing.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, the effects were pretty good in it. Really, it's got some really good
I'm
ones.
also unsure. I'm also unsure, by the way, why one of the bodies when they picked him up had tubes all over him.
Yeah, I don't know. Not quite sure what was going on with some of those.
The bit I've got there was one bit that made me laugh, and I get the fact that it was done for effect and they didn't know much about it at the time, but he was just a head. Why did he need to breathe in so deeply?
Yeah, how was he
It was just a
breathing?
head, and it was like,
How was he breathing?
what are you filling up?
Yeah. But there's a few things like that I like, but I love it. I just think it's a great film. It's a great fun film to watch, and if you're into horror films and you like a bit of comedy, it's just a great film to watch.
Yeah.
It works so well.
I liked as well.
I'll tell you what, something that I don't know why it crossed my mind, but it's something I noticed. That David Gale, who plays the doctor who ends up with his head taken off.
Yep.
If this had been a British film, if this had been a British film, that role would have been played by Christopher Lee because he is just so Christopher Lee.
Yeah, he looks like an American version of him. Yeah, it's just what I loved as well. I love this about it, is the fact that he's in a rush to make sure that this happens, so everything that his plan goes ahead without any hiccups.
Yeah.
So when someone knocks on the door that he's expecting, and he wants to get this done quickly, he then says, "Get the door quick!" And instead of just sort of putting the tools down to where he could grab them, he carefully put them all back.
Yeah, well, place for everything and everything in its place, as it says.
Yeah, there's certain bits of this that I just thought, oh my god, but there were bits of it that made me laugh.
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush to watch the second and third film though.
No, I've never seen any of the other films, and I'm not really that bothered about watching them. But I just think this is such a. It's got everything. It's got everything you want from a film like this. It's got the gory bits. It's got the kind of the spooky, strange, weird bits, and it's got the kind of the humour and
got everything you want from a film like this.
It is. It has. It's got everything you want from a film like this, and it's great fun to watch. I would be quite happy to sit and watch that film again.
Yeah, I would watch it again. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but I would watch it again quite happily.
I really like that. I really like it. It's. Let's say I watched it a lot. I watched it before a long time ago when it first came out on. Well, this will show me age. When it first came out on video, I remember watching it. But I haven't seen it since. So it was really good to watch it again and
It's just
revisit it.
It's weird. It's just obviously this film came out before I was around, and again, like I've not seen it before, and it's sort of glad that I hadn't seen it before because it was getting into it with fresh eyes, and it was sort of a first experience. But I don't know. I wish that I had done just so I knew what I was letting myself in for.
Well, it's always good to go to something new, I suppose. So there you go. We got 3 films there: The Cage, Clementine, and Re-Animator. All pretty good in their own way. All good in their own way. It's just depends on what you're looking for from a film, really. But I love Re-Animator. I think it's a great film, and I would recommend it to anyone to watch because it's just a good laugh. It's a good bit of gory fun. You can't get away from that being good.
Yeah.
Next week we have a Deformed Lunchbox special.
Yeah.
We will be looking at 5. Can't remember. 5. Yeah, 5 short films which are on the Deformed Lunchbox channel on YouTube. None of them we've seen before or reviewed before. One of them is a brand new film which has only just come out. Some of these are films that haven't actually been made by them, that they put on their channel, been made by friends of theirs or people they know or whatever. But they're all worth a watch, and we'll have a look at them and see what we think of them. And we will also have an interview with one of the chappies from Deformed Lunchbox about the newest of the films. So, if you want to find out a bit more about Deformed Lunchbox, check them out and check out the show next week. And like that. Thank you very much, Scott, for being on the show again.
Oh, pardon me. That's all right. Thank you for letting me be here. So I picked it because I've just drunk a can of 7-Up, and it's the first time I've drunk it in ages. And the problem is, it's made me really gassy.
Now, I just want to say as well, if anyone out there has any suggestions for films that you think we should have a watch of and review, the sort of stuff that we've been looking at and that we like and don't like.
If you've been listening to this long enough, you know the stuff that we don't like and the stuff that we do. So
suggest something for us to watch that maybe we haven't seen before, or something that you think is worthy of our inane drivel, and we'll go from there. Why are you getting your thumbs to talk to each other? What's going on there? I missed that. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I think
strange people.
I think my head's starting to catch up with the rest of me.
It's all rather confusing, really. I don't know what's going on. So yes, and in the intervening time or something, we will be other things and they won't be us. So there you go. Anyway, thank you very much. And we will be back when we're back. Bye.
Bye.
The Sci-Horror Film Podcast.